China gears up for a full-scale invasion into Taiwan and America's decline on the world stage. This is the Exposing Truth channel. I'm your host, Evan Heath. Here on the Exposing Truth channel, we believe there is a battle for truth in our culture today, and a war between truth and corruption. And from Washington to the far reaches of the globe, we will fight for truth. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing and leave a like, and also comment down below. And right now we are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Rumble. And right now we are starting our brand new podcast on Spotify. So a lot of things are happening on here that you don't want to miss. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get right into things. So just this past Monday, about 52 Chinese military planes flew into Taiwan's airspace defense zone, which is the most significant use of force that we have seen between China and Taiwan in a single day. And also, over the course of just 4 days, China has flown over 145 aggressive and very threatening flights into Taiwan airspace. Now, for many people, this may not seem that bad, but not only Taiwan's power is in the balance, but this would massively increase the Chinese Communist Party's power in the region, and a full-scale invasion into Taiwan, many believe, could start another world war, which I will get into in just a second. But just this past April, a Chinese spokesperson said this: "There is zero room for compromise and not an inch to give. We urge the U.S. side to grasp the situation earnestly and abide by the One China policy and immediately stop official contact with Taiwan in any form." And I believe we should take what China says very seriously, and everything that the Chinese Communist government does and says. And also, I think the United States should take very seriously what is happening right now in the Pacific right now. But to the credit of the Biden administration, recently they just approved a new $750 million arms sale to the democratic nation of Taiwan, and they also apparently, from reports, are preparing a new trade agreement. But right now, I want to get to talk about how did we get to this point, and then I want to look at the ramifications of what a full-scale invasion into Taiwan would look like and the ramifications it would have across the globe. So over the past decade, as we've seen and reports have said, China has been gearing up to building its military. It has poured billions of dollars into its military. While in the past decade, the U.S. military has been in decline and there's been less funding going into the United States military, and we've seen woke progressive ideology coming into our military as well. And I believe that because of that, we are seeing moral weakness, and weakness even among our politicians, and a lack of interest in what has, and what I still do believe, makes America great, which that's the whole reason of this YouTube channel. And what truly makes America great is the fundamental truths and values that right now we are forgetting as a nation, and that we are forgetting to teach the next generation. And that's what the whole goal, that's what the whole point of this channel is to do, is to share the truth, and is to proclaim the truth that America needs to come back to those moral, fundamental truths and values that we have had that has truly made America great for generations. So what I believe is we have sold ourselves out among the world, and we've become weak and very unsafe on the world stage, as we saw just a few weeks ago with the catastrophe in Afghanistan, which hundreds and upon hundreds of Americans are still trapped in hiding, and many have probably even been killed behind enemy lines. And what I want to ask is, where is the America I love? The America that believes in, and that past generations have believed in, that no man gets left behind, and that America comes first. But more importantly, God comes first, and that truth comes first. Where is that America that I love? And what I believe is that America is becoming weak, and we are experiencing a moral decline in our country that I believe will lead to the destruction of the greatest nation on earth. And China sees that too. So now I want to look at the ramifications of what a full-scale invasion into Taiwan would look like, and the ramifications it would have upon the whole globe. And no doubt it would be very costly and very deadly, many people are saying, and many believe it would influence the world and maybe even cause a world war. And as we've been seeing among the past few weeks, many nations are already increasing their military presence around Taiwan and the Pacific. But also, on the other hand, what I want people to understand is Taiwan could also make an attack by China very difficult, because Taiwan has one of the greatest defense systems in the world, and it has a very high powerful and a very high resolve to keep its independence. But again, still China's military power and might is still huge, and it would overwhelm what many believe, Taiwan within just a few days. And it would continue to thrust China's power on the world stage higher and higher and higher. And what really I want to get to at the end of this video is that China believes America will never be the superpower we once were. And the sad thing is that is the truth. And China believes we're not going to fall from an invasion or another world war, but from within. And what I want to look at is one of the Soviet Union leaders, Nikita Khrushchev, once said, "You Americans are so gullible. No, you won't accept communism outright, but we'll keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you finally wake up and find that you already have communism. We won't have to fight you. We'll so weaken your economy until you'll fall like overripe fruits into our hands." And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what I believe is happening to this country right now. Because we have forgotten what makes America great. We have forgotten the America that I love. We have forgotten that the government doesn't make America great, but the fundamental truths and values that one nation under God, that makes America great. The recognition throughout our history that God is our authority. But like I said before, we have sold ourselves out among the world, and we have continued to make ourselves weaker, and what I believe inevitably will lead to the destruction, the fall and destruction of the greatest nation on earth. So unless this generation, here and now, stands up and returns to the morals and values that we once had as a nation, that we once had as a country, an America who will get back up if we fall, the America who will never leave a man behind, the America who views God, who views truth as our sole authority once again. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and leave a like and comment down below, and let us stand for truth and our culture today.